creepy to look this close at you. But the question is, why do feminists hide? So being a bit creepy might just help bring you out of your shell, perhaps? So where to begin the conversation about the hiding feminists that we're dealing with right now? Recently I observed a YouTube video of a criticism of a new feminist, or a new YouTube feminist that is, and she didn't hide. She pulled the channel down, literally pulled the entire channel down. She had 2 videos. This was her second video. She got some attention. Wasn't exactly what she was expecting, so she pulled her video down. I looked at the comments. Some of them were kind of not of my approval. I mean, I did not approve of a lot of the comments on them. I thought it was the wrong thing, because the ultimate value is in the conversation. And I know that the YouTuber that was criticizing or discussing with her his criticisms, if you will, I don't know what you'd call that. Unfortunately, these conversations don't go well when they're one-sided, and most YouTube videos are very one-sided, and this is something that I've kind of become frustrated with in my own work. I don't really want to have one-sided conversations, just me telling you what to think, because it's not very effective. So dialogue is something that's very important. So, case in point, we all are probably aware of the Drunken Peasants. That format is actually the most constructive format. Also, Honey Badger Radio is very constructive because there's a conversation between people. Now, a bigger problem we have, though, is not having conversations with the actual people that we are trying to criticize, if you will. So, but running and hiding is hardly the solution, and I extend to anyone that wants a conversation to have a conversation. I will always have a conversation with you. I don't care if I agree with you or disagree with you. It's having the conversation that's fundamentally important in learning how to have a conversation. If we can't get this right, we're in big trouble. And if you look at the way politicians use one-sided conversations, it's not very constructive. I mean, our politics is in a shamble. Our legal system is in a shamble because we're bad at dialogue. Can we do dialogue better? I don't know. But we don't know unless we actually try. So that's why probably the most important thing we can be doing as YouTubers is trying to change the conversation, or to change the conversation style. Now, this may seem like a rant in this regard, but I do encourage people to do the hangouts and with people that you don't agree with, and have constructive conversations. And constructive conversation basically works as say something, observe, listen to what they're saying, and then give active listening skills, such as, okay, I understand you're saying this, and then if they're not saying that, then find out why they're not saying that, or what you do agree on. But if you can establish a basic foundation of agreement, then it's hard to actually decide on what you disagree on. And so this is what I see a lot of you telling me what to think isn't going to fly very well. It's very helpful if you actually ask what someone thinks or what someone wants. This is what we see with Anita Sarkeesian telling everyone how they should feel about these things, when there's no actual evidence that there's any negative effects for violent video games. Show me the negative effects. Show me that this is harming society and exactly how it's harming society, and I'll listen more closely to what you're saying. But until you show me damage to society, until you show me that this is actual harm, not just you not liking something, then we're not having a conversation. You're just telling me what I should think and what I should feel. And you're not even showing me that what I'm thinking and feeling is even causing any harm, or even you acknowledge what I'm thinking and feeling. So these are problems we're addressing, or trying to address, in terms of having real conversations. So I encourage feminists to get off their asses, get out there and start discussing with people that disagree with you. It's not just your world, it's our world. We share the world together. We don't want to be in the world that you envision. That's why we're arguing with you. That's a reasonable reason to argue with someone. I don't like your vision of the world. I don't want to be a part of that world. That's all we're saying. I mean, you can have your world. You can make your video games however you want to make your video games. But telling other people how they should make their video games? Why? People can do what they want with their games. It's freedom of speech. And your belief that this freedom of speech is a bad thing is, I think, rather dangerous. Especially when you're saying we can't criticize you. I kind of like that rant. That's why I kept it in. But it was kind of long and slow, because I like to speak slow as if I'm being meaningful. By the way, that was world. We all live in the same world. Let's make the world the place we want to live in. Maybe a place I want to live in is a different place than what you want to live in, which is my point to people. We really can live in the same world and not agree with each other. Everyone does not have to agree to live in the same world. Yes, there are some divisive things, but we can negotiate those. I mean, I'm okay with putting labels on things, saying this is poison, this is not poison, this is violent, this is not violent. If feminists want to put a label on games that says, hey, look, we don't agree with this content, hey, I'm for that. In fact, I'm sure a lot of people would want to put that on their games to say, see, feminists don't like our games, so you probably want to play it. But it's not a negative thing. You see, what you're doing is you're creating a label. And if people agree with that label, we know it's high in trans fats. Okay, I personally like trans fats. I can't even find anything with trans fats in it anymore. Not really. I don't care about trans fats. But my point is, it's okay. You don't agree with something? Great. Anita Sarkeesian does not agree with this. Awesome. Don't care. And I don't think anyone should care. We're saying your label doesn't really help us. And as a society, we certainly don't want your label on everything that people do. And that's our point. Or I'm putting myself in a group of people that probably don't agree with me half the time. But when you say gamer gay, I'm definitely on one side of that fence. And I definitely do not believe we have a huge problem with feminism. I don't think women have huge problems to deal with. The biggest problem they have to do is feminism itself. And that's something I think. And that's why I'm an anti-feminist, is because I do not believe that feminism is helping anyone. And it's hurting women, it's hurting men, it's making a huge mess. And it's anti-intellectual. I can throw a lot of names at this stuff. And the fact that feminists will not have real conversations with me, they're scared shitless of me and people like me, because we actually want to understand, we actually want to have conversations. I mean, if you listen to my conversation with Dee, I'll link in the low bar, like we're supposed to do. I'll try to remember to do that. Now, I'm trying to make this video at least halfway decent for some links and some actual context to what I'm saying. But I also need to rant a little frustration with this conversation. It's not progressing. And when Anita Sarkeesian gets to go to the UN, I'm saying, why the hell are you listening to this person? This person is dangerous to society, toxic, in fact. So maybe I need to speed this section up the video too, but I haven't decided yet. Maybe you said it. No, we'll see. So I have a question for my Sam Harris fans, because I am dependent in some respect to the Sam Harris legacy. I know those are the people that have subscribed to me the most because of a single video, the most popular video I've ever made, and it's put me in a position of saying, why is it so popular? It's a good label. Labels work well. But the problem is, Sam Harris is really not saying anything about feminism. And I know why he hasn't. It's a thankless job. And you just be vilified. Trust me. And this is one of the things that Karen Strong, Allison Tiemann, to say your name right, Tiemann. Anyways, I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible with a lot of things. So making YouTube videos is really, really, really challenging mentally, because I'm going to have a mental case when it comes to doing this kind of stuff. Criticism is hard to take. But we have to realize, no, we don't have to realize. You don't have to realize anything. See, this is the way my mind works. I go, you don't have to do that. Oh, you could do that. I don't care. I know that there are alternative pathways. There is not one perfect pathway. And it's the agreement that we have to get to. And that's society's agreement on the paths that we want to take and why we want to take those paths, knowing full well where they're going. And a lot of the things we are seeing currently is bullshit. I mean, the point of picking out and picking on religion was because of the bullshit ideas that are technically scientifically verifiable. If you believe that is true, where is your evidence? And if you don't have the evidence, why say it? Why do you want to lie to people? You're essentially lying to people if you are unwilling to look at the evidence for what you believe. If there's no evidence for it, at least be honest about, well, there's actually no evidence for this, but maybe it could be. There could be a God. Could be. There's no evidence for it, but there could be. There's all kinds of possibilities, but these possibilities aren't likely. They're not what we're seeing in the character of the universe. Okay, and this is where we come back to feminism again. We say, yes, it could be that way, but it's not. Let's look at evolutionary psychology to understand how people actually are and how people actually behave and where these behaviors came from. It's not culture creating this behavior. These behaviors are ingrained into the fabric of our DNA. We can't choose our DNA. We were given our DNA. It's fundamentally a part of us. And criticizing someone because of their DNA really is a bad and silly thing to do. I mean, I don't like a lot of things about evolution. But I don't say it doesn't exist. I don't say it's not true. I say, well, what can we do to change it? How can we make our lives better, even though this evolutionary thing occurred? Now, this is my true rant. But this is what's frustrating to people that want to think about the problem and actually find real solutions to the problems that we may want to change. Now, not everything's a problem. Some things is just personal preference. It's only a problem if you want to make it a problem. Some things I choose not to make problems. Then you say, well, it's a personal preference. I'm going to deal with it my way. If you're obese, because since we're talking about things you're not supposed to talk about, if someone makes fun of you, deal with it. Okay, don't listen to them or whatever. Or listen to them and laugh and recognize the truth in what they're saying, but also be aware of the biases that are inherent in society. That's their opinion. Don't let their opinion affect you negatively. Easier said than done, I know. But understand, maybe it doesn't work.
Thanks for watching, man.
Hey, good looking. What the fuck you got cooking? I'm just a man on fire. I'm just a man on fire.